Hello, welcome back to my channel. We are going to be doing a video all about glitter. Pressed glitter in palettes, pressed glitter in like glitter single palettes, liquid glitter, loose glitter. I'll give you some of my recommendations, life expectancy, glitter glues, that kind of thing. So yeah, if that sounds interesting, stick around. I had the idea for this video like a year and a half ago, so I'm finally filming it. I do have some glitter on my eyes today. We will talk about what I used. I will give you some honorable mentions of things. Maybe if you like the idea of glitter, but you don't want to use glitter. So yeah, all of those things. If you are new, welcome. Make sure you take a moment, subscribe, and let's jump into the video. First, let's talk about the two palettes that I got in a subscription box recently. Those are the Lurella. We have the So Lucky and the Can't Pinch This palette. These came in the they came in the February subscription box. I will link their website down below because you can purchase these palettes separately because they have moved on to the March box, which has a different palette in it. So if you get the box now, you won't be getting these, but you can purchase these. I don't know if they're sold individually or if you're getting them as a bundle, but I will link them down below with the prices of these. But these have some really good pressed glitter. It's actually, I'll take my glasses off for just a moment. It's actually the glitter and the palette that I have on my eyes. I used the Can't Pinch This. So I have both greens. I have the green glitter and the gold glitter. I have a little bit of the gold and the brown, these two on the lower lash line, and then a little bit of the olive in the outer corner, but that's all I used out of this. Main part was the glitter. There is a glitter in this one, but it's black with silver. I just didn't feel like I needed to use that. My shirt's very St. Patrick's Day-esque. This is probably going to go up. I'm filming this before St. Patrick's Day, but it's probably going to go up the Tuesday after. So I figured I would just leave the shirt on and the green matched. And I was curious about this. The glitter in this palette is very emollient. You wouldn't necessarily need a glitter glue with this. I use the NYX glitter glue. Mine is in a pot because my tube broke. I had bought a brand new tube and the tube broke. We will get to that in a minute, but the glitter formula that they have is really creamy. There's a little bit of a colored base. You don't necessarily need to put shadow down below, at least from these two that I used. This is my first time using glitter from the brand because I don't think the other palette that I have has glitter in it. If it does, I don't recall using it. But yeah, this is really nice. Again, you wouldn't necessarily need a glitter glue with it. I tend to use a glitter glue just to be on the safe side. And I generally use a glitter glue with most shimmers anyway. So it's not, applying it is not something that is out of the norm for me anyways. But their palettes generally run around $15 or so. They're pretty inexpensive. Again, I only had one palette before these two, but now I have these and I did use them today and they worked fine. I did go in with a white base. I like the Gerard Clean Canvas. I have the skin tone fair version, my skin tone, and then I have a white one, and then my NYX glitter glue is in an empty fair container that I had left over. So yeah, let's back it up a little bit. This is what prompted the video. Let's talk about glitter glues. Again, I like the NYX glitter glue. I've been using it for years. I had the same tube. A tube will last me a long time, and I use it every single time I use my eyeshadow. It was over 2 years, so I thought I'll buy a brand new one. I'd had the tube for less than a month, and the tip broke off. So thankfully, I had one of these eye primers that was almost up. I scraped out the rest. Was getting ready to open a new one anyway. Had to clean it out. The stuff is very thick, but thankfully I had something that was resealable, so I didn't end up wasting the tube. So far it's been fine. I had never done this before. Like I said, the other tube I had was good to go for several years, but I do have NYX written on it so I don't get confused. Alamar Cosmetics has a good tacky. I don't think it's listed as a glitter glue. I will link it down below also if it's still available. It's a sticky eye base, I think is how it's marketed, but I don't like it for eyeshadow. I do like it for glitter. So those are the two that I use just because the Alamar one I think I got in a BoxyCharm, so I have it. Too Faced has a good glitter glue. NYX is probably the easiest to get a hold of because it's generally sold wherever NYX products are sold. It's a pretty popular one. e.l.f. used to make one, I think, but I don't know if they still do. But yeah, NYX is generally what I recommend to people. It'll run you about $12. It's not the cheapest drugstore, but it works. Honorable mentions out of the way are rhinestones. Rhinestones are a good way to go if you want some extra sparkle. You can do them like under the brow bone, kind of where you would do a cut crease. This is a sheet. These are both purchased on Amazon. So these are 3 different sizes in each color. And it's just, like I said, just a sheet. And then you can get something like this where these, I think, are technically marketed for nails, but it's a container, all different sizes. For these, you're going to use eyelash glue if you want to do rhinestones. They're going to hold up a little bit better than glitter glue. So, yeah. And then like this one comes with like, I think it's like a similar to like a chalk pencil. So you can kind of mark where you want to place them before you place them. And it comes with tweezers. But yeah, both of these were purchased on Amazon. If I can find them, I will link them also. But that's a good place to start if you don't want to go necessarily the glitter route, because not everybody likes glitter. Another good place to start, Profusion makes these glitter palettes. I don't know if these are always in stock. I've been trying to get a hold of the red one for a hot minute and it's always out of stock, so I don't know if they are bringing these back or not. These are about $5. They're monochromatic glitter palettes. So this is the emerald one. I think they have the red one, the blue one. I think there's a purple, the green one. Again, I don't know if these are part of their permanent. They were. They're pretty emollient. Again, you wouldn't necessarily need a glitter glue with these, but I always do, just to avoid any extra fallout. It's not going to prevent fallout because you can still get fallout with glitter glue, but it helps. Profusion does make these glitter liners. These are not as good as the Urban Decay ones and they dry out faster, but I do have silver and gold. One thing you can do is the saline like you would use for contacts, and you can put a couple of drops in and it'll help bring them back a little bit if you're trying to limp them along. I did have a red one and it completely dried out and was not worth trying to save, but these two are good. Again, these don't last as long as the Urban Decay. These are good because they're wet. I should probably open one. And so there is glitter, but it's literally what it says. It's a glitter liner. So there's the Urban Decay. I have Volume, Grind. Grind is one of my favorites. It's a lighter pink. These are like $22. I think they are worth the money. You can look on Poshmark. I have gotten used ones on there. I had a silver and a gold, but somebody had diluted them too much, so I ended up throwing them away because they were very runny. But another one of my favorites is Distortion. I have 2 tubes. Mine, I need to put some saline in, but they're very, very pretty. This one's older than this one. Yeah, again, I need to put some liquid in. I've had these for a while. These are finally getting a little bit dried out, but as you can see, like I said, you just put a couple of drops in and mix it up and it will definitely help. And it also helps, you can come in with like pliers and pull the stopper out to help if you need to mix them up better. Stila, I used to really like their liquid glitters, but they're very expensive. I used to get holiday sets and they stopped making them. Let me swatch the Profusion. Yeah, mine are already starting to get dried out and I haven't had these this long. That's the only complaint. They're inexpensive. I want to say they're around $3 or $4 you can get, but again, I need to put some saline in them. I think my bottle is upstairs, so I'll have to bring that down. Other options, and these are good dupes for the Stila, are the e.l.f. I have the whole collection. I do still have 2 Stila ones that are hanging on. The rest of mine completely dried out. This is Flirty Birdie, but it is a good dupe for Stila's Disco Kitten. That one was my most used, and it's the same component, looks almost exactly identical, same applicator. I got these in a set. These are nice because they have a little bit of a base and there is some glitter. So you put it on like a liquid shadow. You can use a brush or the applicator. The Stila one that I still have, this is Follow the Sun. Again, these are the minis that came in the holiday set. I was buying these every year until they stopped putting out. Yeah, these ones are finally starting to get dry. So you can see it's getting a little patchy, but these two, I can get a little bit more life out of them. So I will be putting, there's a bunch of stuff I need to put some liquid in, but the e.l.f. ones, like I said, I got in a set. You can get them individually, and I've had these probably going on 2 years. Some of the colors work better than others, but for the price, they're good. Way cheaper than Stila. As you can see, I have all of the colors. So again, this is a good, if you don't want to mess around with pressed glitter, liquid glitter, those are a good price point. I will always recommend the Urban Decay, but again, they are expensive. So like Distortion is a color I use a ton, which is why I have 2. And then my other one that I use the most is Grind. I wait for like the Sephora sales, Ulta sales to buy these, or I try and get good deals on Poshmark if I find ones on there. Now with pressed glitter, you can make your own pressed glitter. I have made pressed glitters before. I think they're easier to use than loose glitter. Loose glitter can get quite messy and you can get it all over your face. I have some loose ones in here. I do like Medusa's Makeup. It's loose glitters. It's mainly the only thing I still have from the brand. I used to get their subscription box, so I have a ton of colors from them. But their pressed glitter is nice. Again, you want to make sure your brush is a little bit tacky with the glue and then go in. But you can go on Amazon and buy, the glitter is going to come in containers like this. I will find a set and link it down below. You want to make sure it's listed as cosmetic eye safe glitter, because there is cosmetic glitter sold on Amazon that is for nails. It's going to be listed as cosmetic glitter, but it's not going to be eye safe. So you want to make real sure whatever loose glitter you're buying says that it's eye safe. And you can get little magnetic pans. I'll try and find everything and list it down below. You'll want to look the recipe up. I can try and Google it because I don't remember what the ratios are, but all it is it's glycerin, a little bit of coconut oil, and isopropyl alcohol. And I will try and find what the ratios are. When I would do it, would put it in a little squeeze bottle. You fill the little metal pan and you want to make sure they're magnetized so that you can stick them in a pan, like a Z palette. Otherwise you have to attach magnets, which I did once and it's not fun. It's better just to get the magnetized ones. They're a little more expensive, but it'll save you the hassle. You want to fill the pans up about 2/3 of the way full, and then you just pour in the glitter until it's full. You go in carefully, mix it up, level it out, and let them sit overnight. I usually do overnight. You go in with a paper towel and a quarter and you press them down as hard as you can, and that's how you make pressed. That's what they did essentially with these. They're just pressed glitters. The only bad part is pressed glitter does have a shorter shelf life. I think probably because of the coconut oil, it breaks down. So all of mine expired, started to get crumbly. I had to throw them away, which is why I got this, just to replace some of them. Because around Christmas time, I do like to wear pressed glitter or glitter in general. I do have some chunkier ones. These are from Dark and Glam. This is from the Goosebumps collection. So this is not going to be like eye safe. This is glitter that would go like on the cheeks, around the eye. You can do it up here. You could put it on the face, just like the Jelly Much or Glitterly Obsessed from Colourpop. They're not necessarily eye safe because it's big chunks of glitter, so you just have to be careful. Again, I think you can put this on the eyes. I know some people do, but you want to be careful with the bigger confetti glitters, because that can cut your eyeball. So something like this, I have it for like around the eye or on the cheek bones. And then that's just a cream shadow. There's also, it's like a glitter flake. This has a binder in it. So these are a little bit wet. And these again are eye safe, but I just try and be careful with something like this because you've got bigger chunks. I tend to do the glitters more now since I don't wear contacts. I have not had a huge issue with glitter in contacts, but it is always something that I worry about in the back of my mind. So I understand if you're a big contact wearer not wanting to mess around with glitters, which the e.l.f. Liquid, what are these even called? It's really small. I don't know if they market the, oh, there it is. It's a liquid glitter eyeshadow is how these are marketed, but these are going to give you extra sparkle without having to worry about something like this if you're worried about lenses. Because these I've never had an issue, which is why I had so many Stila ones once upon a time. They're the easiest to use and the easiest to remove. Also the Urban Decay liquid liners, because you can go all over the lid with them and it gives you extra sparkle. And again, they're easy to remove. Let's talk about pressed glitter in palettes, because that, like with the Lurella ones, is an easy way to go for a little extra glitter. I have a few different brands. We will talk about expiration because I'm pretty sure these pressed glitters in this Tarte palette have expired. They're starting to smell a little bit, and again, I think it's the binder, because generally coconut oil is used in with the pressed glitters, and when that goes, it smells rancid. These I cannot pop out. I've never used this palette, but my, what is this? All That palette. I did do a video on this where my pressed glitter that was in here expired and smelled awful. And the Super Shock that was in here got hard and yucky. So I popped, I think it's these two. I keep all of my monochromatic palette in singles. I depotted them from the plastic packaging and they're in a big Z palette. So I can, the Colourpop, these are all magnetized. The ones that they sell at Target are not magnetized, but these, well, all of these can be removed, and all the ones in the plastic monochromatic packaging can be removed. So I think both of these shades came from the Wine and Only palette, but this is one I would consider replacing if they bring it back, just because I didn't dislike the pressed glitter that was in here. It was nice. It just got yucky. Colourpop, I think, has a good pressed glitter formula. It's easy to use. This one is still good. This is whatever. And again, if you get one of these palettes and you don't like that there's a pressed glitter, because oftentimes a lot of people do not. Again, very emollient. You wouldn't necessarily need a glitter glue. Comes off nicely. Very pretty. These are pretty easy to remove. But like I said, if you don't like say you owned this palette and you hate, a lot of people do not like pressed glitter, you can remove it and put a different shadow. Again, that's why I keep all those monochromatic Colourpop palettes, because I have started, well, now they're Colourpop singles. I treat them as singles because I've started to go through and customize some of them, and then like that palette expired, so instead of throwing the palette away, because I have a little bit of OCD, so it would bother me to have missing shadows. So it's nice to be able to pop shadows in. Another brand that I like their pressed glitter is Dark and Glam. This is the Goosebump palette. I thought originally that this palette was all pressed glitters and then the 4 mattes, but it is not. There is only one pressed glitter here, and then the rest of these are their more special shades. But again, theirs is a little bit drier compared to Colourpop, but that was a little bitty swirl and it comes off. That's how much was left on my finger. So again, you could theoretically get away with not having a glitter glue, but just to be on the safe side, again, I always recommend. So Dark and Glam, there's only one pressed glitter in this. I obviously like glitter. A lot of people do not. This is their Creep Show palette, and they also have a pressed glitter in here, and this is also a nice pressed glitter. Now, we will talk about some brands that I do not care for their pressed glitter so much. So Wicked Sisters, I'm going to send this palette to my friend Christine. I was keeping it for this video. I have a package that I need to mail her. This has 3 pressed glitters in it, which normally would not bother me, but I do not care for, this is the only palette I've ever tried from the brand, and it's kind of turned me off from wanting to try anything else. The mattes in here work perfectly fine. I've never gotten a bad look per se when I've just used the mattes, and then the shimmers are more of a satiny shimmer. I mean, they're fine, but these glitters I don't find particularly reflective. They're a little bit on the flat side. When you're dealing with shades that are dark, like the bronze and the orange and the red, there should have been some silver, some gold, some lighter color mixed in that's going to give you more reflectiveness, because I've used this brown and this orange. They're pretty creamy. They're pretty emollient. I do like that, but I just feel like, look how it's reflecting a little bit, but compared to how shiny this one is, especially this brown in Witch Doctor, I felt like it made my eyelid look a little flat. Like, you see, it's reflecting some, but it's not reflecting as much, I feel like, as this one, because this blue has the blue and a little bit of silver. Like, not enough that you can see it, but it's helping reflect light, if that makes sense. With these darker glitters, I feel like you need to have some more light reflectiveness in them. What I've ended up doing is going in with like Distortion or the silver. Before it would have been the Urban Decay one that I had. Now it would be this one, but just to give it some light so that it reflected a little bit better, because this brown one was like so dull on the eye. So again, it's not a horrible palette. The palette itself is fine. It's supposed to be like a Beetlejuice inspired palette. I don't necessarily think the color story is spot on for that. So my friend Christine wanted to try this brand. So again, I'm going to send that to her. I was just waiting to film the video, because as far as glitters that I don't care for, that's always one that comes to mind. And like I said, they had pressed glitters and I think a lot of their palettes, and it's made me not want to try anymore. And then I have Creature Cosmetics. I think the pressed glitter in here again is okay. It's the same problem. You're dealing with a darker color, and I feel like there needed to be a little bit, some silver, another shade of green to give it a little more dimension and to break up the darkness, to give it a little bit more reflective property. It's a little bit drier. Like, I'm swirling my finger in here. I have to go in with a brush. So I have to dig in a lot. It does come off, which is nice, but it doesn't pick up as easily. So again, not my favorite. Another good brand, this is the Be Bella. They don't put glitters in all of their palettes, but there's a really nice gold glitter in this Shades of Roses palette. It's a gold, it's a glitter like hybrid, where it's got a little bit more of a colored base to it, and there's different, it's like small glitter, big glitter. Look how reflective it is. Really nice. Almost all of it came off. More like what Colourpop is doing, where it's like a super glittery shadow almost. The glitter has a base to it. This Too Faced Holiday palette, when I bought it, I did not realize it had 3 pressed glitters in it, but thankfully they're nice. So we have, and I've kept it because I like these pressed glitters so much, like Ice Queen. Again, Too Faced does it, when they do press glitters in palettes, they do them well. I think ABH, I didn't pull out my ABH palettes, but ABH, like, that's just going to give you a little bit, and I didn't rub my finger in very hard, but they're very pretty and they're easy to work with. I think my big, I think it's volume 4, has pressed glitter in it. These are starting to, I'm going to have to use these up more because they're starting, that's why they were getting a little drier. The binder is starting to turn. They're not quite rancid, but they're getting there. Just like the Tarte one. It's almost like old crayon smell if I had to describe it to somebody. Could you still use it on your eyes? Probably. Should you? Probably not. I've used expired glitters on my eyes, so take that with a grain of salt. But I have another Be Bella. This is Life in Pastel. It also has a really pretty pink pressed glitter in here. Super sparkly. Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on those Too Faced ones. That has happened in the last like 4 months because I've used those palettes recently, but so pretty. Again, came off really clean. So I feel like it's one shade and there's other shimmers in here to use. The last palette I wanted to talk about, this is Peachy Queen. I don't know if this brand still exists. I had a subscriber send this to me a couple of years ago. This is No Place Like Home. It's obviously Wizard of Oz themed. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 pressed glitters in it. I've kept it. They don't smell. The shimmers that are in here are a little more like a satin, but the pressed glitters, especially when I lost all of my singles, because I had a really pretty red and a really pretty green, I have kept this palette for the glitters. So this is Rainbow. These, it's moving, but I've never used, there we go. I was like, it's been a while since I've stuck my finger in here. There we go. I had to just move them around. I'm like, it's not dried out. But I've kept this palette for the pressed glitter specifically, because especially Rainbow that I just used, the red and the green for holiday time, so pretty. It's a nice, it's an older palette. I hadn't touched it in a while. I had to get it going, but still really nice. And this palette's older. So yeah, there's options to go. Like I said, the first place to start would be probably something like this, where you could test the waters with pressed glitters. It's inexpensive. You could get a color story that you like. And then these e.l.f. glitters. Again, on the e.l.f. website, I bought the whole set for around 30 bucks. You can get them individually if you just want to try 1 or 2. For ones that I use the most would be this, what is it called? Disco Queen. And then, like I said, the dupe for Disco Kitten, which is Flirty Birdie. These are the 2 that I use the most. So if you were going to get 2 to start, I would recommend that, and then go out from there with like the golds and the other colors. But yeah, there's a lot of easy places to start. Medusa's Makeup still sells their glitters. I can link them too. They're nice. Again, I do really like, this is Key Lime Pie. I've kept all the pressed glitters from them that I have. Yeah, there's lots and lots of good pressed glitters. And again, you can still get palettes. I know people always rag on the pressed glitters and palettes, but if it's just one, again, it's a nice place to start. You don't have a ton. And then, yeah, the gemstones. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Let me know if you have any other questions about pressed glitters. I feel like I was a little bit all over the place because my kids woke up and I can hear them and it's distracting. Hopefully it wasn't distracting for you guys. But yeah, leave me any questions you have down below. I hope this was helpful. And yeah, again, make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. And hopefully I will see you in another video very, very soon. Bye, everybody.